We about to go in today, y'all. So, first things first, it looks like Oakland's Mayor Sheng Tao is broke, or the city is broke, and can't pay our bills. Much like the self-proclaimed hood chick she claims to be, she don't pay her bills and is about to get the government and mayor's whip repossessed. Let's jump into it. This story right here takes the cake, guys. Oakland side, got to give credit where credit is due. As much as I talk about Soggy side, yeah, they're the ones who broke his story. Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao bought a car but forgot to pay for it. Due to a series of mix-ups, the city hasn't paid a local dealership for a Ford Expedition Tao has been using for over a year. Now, when us normal people get a car from a dealership and don't pay for it for over a year, it gets repossessed unless we're hiding it. And if it doesn't, it gets reported stolen. So let's see, why hasn't this been reported stolen? Who owns the dealership? And why isn't the city paying even basic bills like a car? And something should be noticed about this. Today's we're covering three things, and all of them are related to Mayor Tao. First is the fact that she can't pay the bills and she's riding around in a stolen vehicle. Second is that money for the stadium. Oh yeah, that money is due Friday. And then by September 1st, there's a $15 million debt due. We haven't seen a dime yet. And then lastly, Tao's exposed. We now know that Oakland's Mayor Sheng Tao has her own wealthy Piedmont donors, but it's a lot more than just the $10,000 that they gave her this time around. We're going to learn a little bit more about who Quinn Delaney and Wayne Jordan really are, and exactly how much money that they're giving to politics, and why does no one talk about the Delaney's? Why does no one until recently? And the only reason they're talking about the Delaney's recently is because of me, or because of us. So all of you out there following Gotham Oakland, all of us on X who are tweeting about these people, who are exposing the progressive hypocrisy and the fact that they have their own wealthy donors, everyone knows it costs money to be in politics. It always costs money to be in politics. So what are we doing here? Anyway, let's look at to this a little bit more. 16 months, Tyler's been driving this vehicle. She's had an Ford Expedition for official local travel. They're calling it a series of mishaps. It's not mishaps. They're simply not paying the bill because they're broke. The same way they're not paying these nonprofits performing critical services for the city, the same way they're forced to sell assets like our stadium for one-time salary fixes when we're just going to be broke again in a few months, even after we've sold off our stadium. What's next? Tyler's going to sell the lake? Going to sell City Hall? Who knows? Let's move on. I guess we know the mayor does get a car. It's nothing fancy about getting a car. But here's the thing. They bought a Ford Explorer. A Ford Explorer. That's what they bought in January 2023. Then there was a reason to, before I get into that, the dealership is owned by Chris Kwai, a local businessman who contributed money to several of the candidates who were running for mayor, including $400 for Tile. Until then, he had never done business with the city. So maybe because he contributed, he's a donor to Tile. So one of Tile's donors sold her a car or sold the city of Oakland a car, and they never paid for it. Typical grifter behavior. We see this all the time with people who are criminals. They get in positions of power and they run up the credit on your tab, and when it's time to go, they light a match and burn the joint out, like they did in Goodfellas. Let's see. So what happened? Here's what happened. So you don't have to read the Soggy Side article. You can link back to it at your leisure, but I'll tell you what happened. And then we'll answer the question, will she get the car repossessed? Because they still haven't paid for it yet. She bought a Ford Explorer. There was an issue with the Ford Explorer. They had to do a recall on the vehicle. And then as a loaner car, they gave her a Ford Expedition. Now, any of you who knows anything about cars, especially the Mexicans out there. I love my Mexicans. Y'all love them Ford Expeditions and Explorers and the big old truck. When I was in San Diego, that was the thing to do. If you had remember the excursion? Whew, you had an excursion, you was good money. But anyway, and I want you to think about this for a second because Qingtao is supposed to be green. They bought a Ford Explorer, not a hybrid, regular Ford Explorer. And I had to go back to the shop for a recall issue. Funny how recall. They gave her a loaner Ford Expedition. 6 months later, when they finally asked for the car back because it took a long time for them to do the recall on whatever was wrong with the Ford Explorer, they asked for the car back, and Qingtao said she wanted to keep the Expedition instead. She wanted to keep the vehicle that has much higher, much lower mileage per gallon, much less fuel efficient than an Explorer, and funny that she would choose a non-electric vehicle or non-hybrid vehicle for her official vehicle in the first place, maybe because she knew the owner of the dealership. But she wants to drive around in a gas-guzzling Explorer while claiming to be an environmentalist or support any type of green movement that fight against global warming, and then she doesn't pay for it. One more thing. Oakland's not paying our bills. Back to the other one. Oakland's not paying our bills. Oakland's Mayor Qingtao is ghetto, and she is shaming the city. We owe Operation Dignity over $2 million. The CEO of Operation Dignity recently passed away, rest in peace. I forgot her name. To know that she was under the stress of not being able to pay her staff because the city of Oakland can't pay our bills for critical services, owing millions of dollars to nonprofits. They're not responsible people. We were warned when Qingtao couldn't tell us what a bond was that she wasn't responsible. We were warned, and some of you, well, less than 1/3 of you, but still some of you voted for her anyway. Why did you vote for her? Why did you vote for her? Anyway, moving on. That stadium deal, that money's due on Friday, the first $5 million. And then by September 1st, another $10 million is due. Let's review the term sheet just to go through it. Okay, on July 29th, the city of Oakland signed a deal to sell off the Coliseum to a private owner, AASEG, a Black-owned development group. I'm not totally mad about this if they can actually deliver on what they're saying, but so far it looks like political coverage for a failing administration, and I'll tell you why. Where's the money? Where is the money? $5 million was due 5 days after the execution of this PSA right here. They've already executed it. That money's due Friday. We haven't seen it yet. And then on September 1st, which I believe may be Monday or whatever, just a few days away, all of this is less than a week away, another $10 million is due. Where's that money? Where is that money? They executed the PSA by August 23rd, 5 days later, the 28th. I think that is Friday. Let me double check. What day is the 28th? It's next Wednesday, and it's in the. No, I think the first payment is due the 23rd, and then the next payment is due September 1st, which is a Saturday, ironically. The point is, where is the money? Where's the money, y'all? Are we going to have it? Because if not, remember, Oakland's in big trouble. And we're going to have to go with option B of that budget that they presented, with cut public safety even further. Remember, we still only have less than 40 cops on the street at any given time, 35 being the number a few weeks ago. We don't know if that's changed or not, but there are precious few officers on the street. We're getting some support from California Highway Patrol. I'm not sure how much. Most people are reporting that they're not really seeing much come from that enough to change anything anyway. So anyway, where's that money at, y'all? I want to know. Are they going to come up with it? And if not, How many passes are you going to continue to give this administration? How many? It's obvious to most of us here that they're failing. It is completely obvious.
Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here.